watching an LA Club Life exclusive. Probably professionally, 97. I would say like early 97. I've been DJing for a couple years in New York, where I grew up, and the production thing came a little later. I've been DJing since 95, but it was sort of a natural evolution, and for me, I just happened to be around a group of friends that were already sort of, immersed in the very early stages of production, in the New York scene. So it was just a case of just hanging out with my friends and sort of through osmosis picking up what they were into and exploring initially just sort of drums and the MPC sampler, and things kind of went from there. So. Over the years, I've been really lucky to play at a variety of places, from warehouse raves on the East Coast through some of the proper super clubs here in LA now, places like Twilo in New York, the Mayan Theater in downtown LA. I had the good fortune of playing this past July with John Digweed there for a big event that they do to commemorate his Global Underground from about 10 years ago. That place is always great. Avalon, King, which is a smaller place in LA as well. Several years ago, I had a chance to play this place called On Broadway in San Diego in the Gaslamp District. It's an old bank building, really cool. A lot of the smaller rooms on the lower level are some of the old safe deposit box rooms and some of the old vaults where people would actually go and grab money and stuff. It's a very Art Deco building from probably the 20s or 30s. It has a lot of character, so I like that spot a lot. That's a good question, the New York versus LA thing. I would say that my answer now has to be, well, A, they're different places, and I've obviously, spent time in them at different points in my life, but LA for me kind of, certainly is home now. It's definitely apparent in the music that I'm making at the moment, especially here in Santa Monica where I live, and New York is always a special place to me, but the New York that I grew up in, the New York that I knew, the New York where I certainly started to make my name, in the rave and techno scene, is a place that doesn't really exist anymore. So often when I get that question, for me, because that's sort of a part of my memory, I can't really compare them, as of today, because when I go back to New York today, it's so, starkly different from the place that I grew up in. So for me, LA. At the moment, happen to be really into a lot of people who I happen to know that I would consider friends. So that's always fun. It's always nice to see your friends develop and evolve as artists and producers. Locally here in LA, probably my longest LA friend, and somebody I consider one of my best friends, DJ Theo, is doing some incredible stuff. Had a release out on Bedrock, this past summer. Doing stuff ranging from house to tech house and down tempo, so really into what Theo's doing right now. James Talk, one of my friends from the UK, really incredible producer. He and I did a single back in July that's getting some buzz called Bounce. And Cazell, another local favorite here in LA, but I've known him for a long time, going back to the East Coast in Atlanta. And then just as far as people that I'm always kind of, on the lookout for, Alan Fitzpatrick, Joel Mull, both from Drum Code, really love those guys. Alex Kenji does some really incredible stuff. The guys from Frequenza, love their stuff. And always Christian Smith, big fan. And John Digweed, always. So. In the next year, well, between now and the end of the year, there'll be the much anticipated launch of markkane.com, which personally I'll be relieved when we get to that point. I've been doing a lot of content for that, interviews like this, we'll be part of that. We have a YouTube channel now, the Facebook fan page, my Twitter page, redesigning my MySpace profile, so just tying a lot of those things together, under the brand, and just having a lot of uniformity there, so that we can present sort of Mark Kane as an artist and a product, in a more polished way. So as a function of that, and sort of under the wing of promotions and stuff, we're doing. I got fortunate to get into a position where I could do some stuff with American Apparel. We're doing a limited series of shirts. There'll be about 50 pieces each. Both for guys and girls, V-necks and crew necks and whatnot. And I'm excited about that project because it gives me a platform to work with some of my friends that are not from the music business. And so what I can do is sort of give them an opportunity to interpret me, my logo, my music, who I am, and sort of present it to the public through their eyes. So really excited about that. Obviously doing some stickers. There'll be a bunch of content and stuff, downloadable stuff ranging from videos to, video diaries and blog postings of that nature. Always doing radio mixes, and then at the moment just doing a slew of remixes as always. So. Between now and the end of the year, coming up, playing out in the Inland Empire here in LA for a longtime friend, rave promoter, playing at Avalon in Hollywood in November, which I'm excited about. Going back to New York, which is always fun, playing a large party there. We have some dates coming up in Brazil and Peru, which it's always great to just travel and see friends that I haven't seen, in a long time. Going to Toronto. What else is going on? Atlanta. So just kind of running around all over the place. So doing some stuff in the state as well, in San Francisco and San Diego. So as soon as we get all that stuff confirmed, you'll be able to go on the fan page and markkane.com and kind of follow the tour schedule. So trying to keep that updated. At the moment, this past month actually, we just had a remix come out that I did for a new label called Lung Filler Records out of the UK, which was also picked up, sub-licensed by K-Bola, which is a label out of Germany. The artist is called Div Kid. It's called the Prawn Smacker EP. I did more of kind of like a sexier tech house mix of their single. It's their debut on that label, so I was really excited to get that opportunity, for them to ask me to do a feature mix on that EP. Is great. Did a remix for System Recordings, a newer artist out of LA called Sean Ray. The label really liked that, so they've asked me to come back and do another for a single called Between You. Really excited about that opportunity. That'll be coming up. I'm actually going into the studio to do that in the next couple of days. And putting the finishing touches on a remix for DJ Rap's new house label called Improper Talent, which is a joint venture between her and Ministry of Sound. And that record is called King of the Pill. It's more of a techno slanted cut. James Talk and I did a track which has been getting a buzz locally and internationally together. It's our first collaboration, a single called Bounce. So it's gotten a lot of attention from people like Funk Agenda and Fergie, and I was told recently that James Zabila played it at Creamfields a couple of weeks ago. So that record is doing well. I'm doing a remix of that at the moment as well. And going back in the studio with James Talk in a couple of days when he comes back to LA. So just staying busy, mostly doing remixes, but trying to make an effort to do some original stuff. And then as a personal side project, I have a artist album that I'm doing that's more down-tempo. It's called Gentlemen of Leisure. Doing that with a couple of session musicians. It's a lot more jazz influenced and certainly loungier. Bringing in some vocalists. Right now at the moment I have 3 male vocalists that are going to be featured on that. One of them is Martin Orchard, a guy from the UK, really like him. And so just keeping busy, really excited about a lot of the stuff that we have going between now and the end of the year, and hopefully all that stuff will kind of come out and we'll get, people will enjoy it. That's the biggest thing. Just thank you, for all the support. It's been an interesting kind of ride over the last 15 years. It's nice to kind of go to a club and see people that I've seen over the years in various cities. They've gotten older, I've gotten older, but they're still into the music and what I'm doing, and for me that's the most important thing. Obviously, we're moving along with social media and Web 2.0 and a lot of the merchandise and that other non-music related content and product, but at the end of the day it's about me coming and sort of expressing myself and playing the music that I like and connecting with people. So it's been nice that over the past 15 years there's been a lot of relationships and a lot of support, and people are still around because it's there's a lot going on these days. So. Bow, bow, bow.